Hi everybody, it's Terry with Crafty Book Nerd, back today with part 2 of our 9x9 not so mini scrapbook. Today we're going to be doing the hinge and the covers. But first, you know what time it is. Time for our quote of the day. And today's quote says, "Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid." So that's our quote, and let's get into making our book. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our hinge. This is what our pages will be put on. I'm using a hidden hinge method designed by Kathy King from Paper Phenomenon. You will need a piece of whatever color you did your book in. I did mine in black. If you did white, craft, whatever, you want it to match your book. And you will need to cut that to 8 by 9.5. And now we're going to score it. If you don't remember these measurements, don't panic. I will have these listed down below. So we're going to put a 2-inch wing on each side of our hinges. And this is a really easy hinge to do because I'm doing 1/2-inch hinges and 1/2-inch gussets. So it makes the measuring pretty easy. So we're going to start by scoring at 2, and then 2.5. and 3. And when you put those two together, that makes 1 page. That's a hinge for 1 page. Then 3.5, that 1/2-inch is your gusset. And we're just going to continue. 4, 4.5, 5, making sure you can see me, 5.5. Just take your time when you're scoring. 6, 6.5, 7, and your last score is 7.5. So you start at 2, every 1/2 inch, you end at 7.5. It gives you 2 inches and 2 inches on each side. Okay, now I'm going to turn it over to put my score pal tape on. I'm going to leave it on the scoreboard so that you can see it. I'm using 3/8-inch score pal tape. I suggest tape rather than glue because you do want this to hold together well. So what you're going to do is you're going to start with that first 1/2-inch space, the first one, and you're going to put a piece of tape there in between the score lines, not on the score lines. Keep it in between. Okay. Now I'm going to skip 2 spaces, 2 of the 1/2 inches. Skip, skip. Next one, tape. This will be hinge number 2. And we will need 4 of those. Skip, skip. This is page 3. Skip, skip, and page 4. So you should have 4 pieces of tape, like so. Okay, going to give those a good burnish. Okay, going to take the first tape off, and I'm going to fold it so that this first 1/2 inch goes on top of the second 1/2 inch. So I'm going to fold it there where there's a score line, press it down. And then I'm going to take, you see where this 1/2 inch piece is here, I'm going to pull that piece back, like so. Okay? Hopefully you can see. I know it's hard to see on black. There's your 1/2 inch that you put together, and then you pull back like so. Okay? And you want to give that a good burnish. Take off your next tape. Do the same thing. Take that 1/2 inch one and go to your next 1/2 inch one. Burnish. Pull. Whoops, that one didn't stick very well. I don't know what happened. I went too far. I went in the wrong place, sorry. Okay, I got it now. And pull it back, like so. Okay, there we go. And the third one, take that 1/2 inch, fold it to the next 1/2 inch, burnish, pull back. And the last one, go to that last, fold that one over to that last 1/2 inch, burnish it, and pull back, and this is what you have. Okay, so this is these are the hinges. There are 4 of them, and that's what our pages will fit on. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over on this side, and we're going to put some tape on it. You want to make sure that this is covered completely with tape. Okay, whatever size you have, just cover it. Make sure that everything is covered here, because it will make a difference in how your hinges hold up. Okay, got a piece. I'm going to put another piece here. Get close to that one. A 3rd one here. Looks like I'm going to have a little bit left. I'll come back and put a smaller piece there. One here. Looks like this one's going to fit perfect here. Whoops. Get it straight. Okay, now I've got this little part right here that doesn't have any tape, so I'm going to take a 3/8 inch piece and put that one there. It doesn't matter what size the tape is on this, just so you get it good and covered. And we're going to give all that a good burnish. And I do see that I've got some overhang. I'm going to take my scissors and just trim that overhang off of that score pile tape. Just trim that a little bit. There we go. Okay. All right, so here's our 4 hinges. Now we're going to put tape on our hinges to put our pages onto. And for that, I'm using 3/8 inch tape. And I tend to like to put it closer to the top, because you don't want it to go over that score line. So there we go. Okay. My little tear tool here that I like to use. That. Okay. You're going to do this on the front of each hinge and the back of each hinge to stick your pages on. Now, I do put my pages in before I decorate. Some people decorate their whole page and then they add it to their book. I find that it's just easier for me to go ahead and add the page and then decorate. So in the next video, depending on how long this one is, I'm not sure we'll add the pages. That might be in the next video, and then the decorating. Comment in the comments below what you plan to decorate your book with. I'm using that Graphic 45 beautiful sunflower and bee paper. Can't recall the name of it, but I'll let you know what that is. But love to know what you're making. A birthday book, a baby book. This can be used with anything. If you decide you only want 3 pages, then you make your hinges smaller. It's very easy to do. I tend to like 4-page books, sometimes 3. All right, so now we've got all that done. Let's just give all that a good burnish. Push it this way and that way, right? Okay, so there is our hinge, and we're going to put that to the side, and now we're going to work on our covers. Get this out of the way. Now, don't laugh at my chipboard. I know one's pink, one's blue. You're not even going to see that. I got this chipboard, and it is a very good quality. At a garage sale, somebody was getting rid of it. Had all different colors. I'm thinking, hey, I can use that. I'm going to cover it anyway. And so that's what I did. I bought it because it was cheap. So you're going to need to cut 2 pieces 9 by 9. And 1 piece 9 by 2 1/4. That is going to be your spine piece where the hinge will fit onto. Okay, so let's move those for just a second. I've already put tape on the back of mine, right? Then you're going to want to take 2 pieces of your black or cream or whatever you're doing your book out of, put a piece of score tape, and you're going to connect those. But before I did that, it's just easier for me to keep my book lined up. What I do is I take it to the scoreboard. I've already done it, but I'm going to show you what I did. And I know that that my covers are 9 by 9, which means I've got 3 inches and 3 inches left. So I do a 1 1/2 and a 1 1/2 all the way around. So what I do is I score it at 1 1/2, turn, 1 1/2, turn, 1 1/2, turn, 1 1/2. This just helps me for the placement and to keep everything straight. If you don't need to do that, that's fine, but it works well for me, so that's just a little tip that I like to do. So let's go ahead and get this off. Now, when you put these together, you'll have a little less than 1.5, but that's okay, because that part won't matter. So this is really important to try to line this up. Kind of use my grid here. Hopefully you can see. I'm going just right over the top of that piece, trying to keep it even. My lines are really helping me. Sometimes I just turn it over like this to kind of look. That looks pretty good. Okay, put that down, right? All right, so now we've got this. Now, what I like to do is I like to put Tyvek on either side of this piece, because this is where your book gets bent a lot when it's being opened and closed and looked at, and that keeps it from tearing. Which also reminds me, this is about a 65-pound weight paper that I'm using. I tried doing the covers with the 80-pound that I made the book with, the 110-pound, and it didn't do. It cracked. The paper cracked all around. It was a big mess, so I had to start over. So this is like a 60-pound paper. So it works well. So what I use is a Tyvek tape, and I got this from Amazon, and I'll try to find that and link it. There's also a book binding tape that you can use, and I'll see if I can find those and link in the description. But this works really well because it's got self-adhesive on it, so it sticks really well, and you don't have to worry about putting glue or any other tape. And these measure 1.5 by 9. It came in a roll that was already 1.5. If I buy some more, I would love to have about a 2 or 2.5, but that's what I had, so I had to cut 2 of those to 9 inches for the length, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those where they're on that seam a little bit. I'm going to put one here, and then the other one I'm going to overlap, and you're going to see that it's going to pretty much be in that space there. And then when you put this on top, you're going to want to have a little bit of the Tyvek showing on this side and this side, so that when you put your cover on, you'll have that Tyvek in between to help with that moving of your book back and forth, okay? So, and what's really nice is I've got a line here, so I know exactly where to put that at the top, and I've got the line here, okay? So let's take this off. You can use Tyvek envelopes if you have those, or Tyvek that you got from the post office. I've just stopped using that and started using this tape or the book binding, and I really like it. It's my favorite. So I'm going to kind of put that right up to that line, and it will go over just a hair of that. I didn't get my head in there. I don't know, I might have. Forgive me if I did. Good to see my messy bun. All right, and then the other one. And I'm going to put it in there. So, okay. All right. Now I'm going to take this and try to kind of get it in the middle of where those 2 pages were put together, making sure there is some Tyvek on both sides. So let's get this a burnish. Pull this off. Yeah, I have problems getting things straight, and so scoring that like that really helps me to keep everything lined up. Maybe you don't have that problem. And I always like to put a little glue on this so that I have some wiggle room and just a little bit extra to hold it down good. Okay, so there's my line. I know that you can't see it. I'm going to come over a little bit because I'm going to need that white. Looks pretty good. Put her down. Okay. Take one of our covers. Take the tape off. And I'm going to show you this really nifty tool that I got. I think it's called a book binding tool. I got it on Temu. I'm not sure if Amazon has it. I will look to see wherever I can find it, and I will put that in the description box, because it is a great tool for when you're making books. It helps you with your spacing and lining everything up. And the best part of it is for the mitering of the corners, it does great. Okay, and this is the little tool right here. This is it. And I'm going to be using this part right now. Let's see if you can can see, it's hard to do one hand. What I'm doing is I'm taking this part here and I'm putting it over here, over the top of that spine piece, and then this tells me that that's my space to put my cover down. And so then when I put this cover, and then I've also got my score lines that I'm trying to keep straight. Let me kind of see. If you put it within those score lines also, whoops, but you want to get it straight with that other piece, and you want that space in there. That's the main thing. And might have a little bit more at the bottom, but I think we're going to stick her down. Okay, so there's that one. There's your space there. You're going to take your second one. It's a beautiful spring-like day here today. I think it's going to get to the middle 70s. We're calling for 80 on Easter Sunday. It's going to be warming up, and then I think we may have one more little cool front coming through. So I like the cool weather. All right, again, I'm going to put some glue. Okay, use my trusty tool again, put it over here. Make sure I've got that so it lines up. I'm also looking at my lines here so I can get it to make sure it's within where it needs to be. Okay, put her down. There we go. Nice. Very good. Okay, I'm going to turn it over. Okay. Now I'm going to take my 1-inch tape. I'm going to put it from this end all the way to this end. We're going to stop right there at the end of the chipboard because you'll be mitering that, and you don't want to waste your tape. I'm going to put a piece at the bottom. Okay. And then on the side, get in frame here. Fixing to knock stuff off the table, trying to get in frame. Okay, and then over here, it's hard to get all of this in frame. Hey, but at least that colored chipboard helps you to see it a little bit, huh? Okay, there we go. There's that. Right? Now, you've got this excess here, and usually I just take my scissors and I just trim that up to the score tape. I always trim it after and not before. I could have cut it a little bit smaller, but I'm always afraid I'll cut it too small, and so I just do this part after. This excess that we don't need. And I know you can't even see this, but I'm trimming it. You'll see it once I get it all trimmed. It's kind of hard. It's a big piece to deal with. Love my Tim Holtz big scissors. They're great for this job. Okay, and one more. Whoops. Kind of went over the score tape on that one, Terry. See, I can't cut straight either. Told you I can't do straight. All right. So now you can see that I cut all that excess black off. You see the score tape there, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work the paper a little bit, pulling this over to kind of work it. And I like, where's my favorite little bone folder? Just push that over to kind of make that paper, those fibers release in that paper. Okay. Do the other side, turn it around. Do it kind of with your fingers, and then the bone folder just really helps to get it going. Okay, and then I'm going to do the sides. That. And this side. This. Okay. All right. And now the next reason I'm using this little tool is for the mitering. You see this little triangle part that's here? you're going to take that piece and you're going to put it, I'm getting framed, you're going to put it up against your chipboard to where it fits like so. Your chipboard corner will fit right in the corner of that piece. Let me see if I can hold that up so you can see. See, you see there it is, and if you do it just so, it will fit right there. So then what you're going to do is I just take a pencil and I draw a line, and then that's where I'm going to cut it. So I'm going to do that on all 4 sides, just making sure that it's there. Pencil around, pencil, and draw a line, and one more at the bottom. Mitering was really hard for me, so this tool has been a lifesaver for me. And then I'm just going to cut where that line is, and then that's going to make a perfectly mitered book corner, just like so. Okay, so let's cut all those. One more. All right, we got all that. Let's get all this trash out of the way. Okay, all right, so now we're ready to take all the tape off. 1, all 4 sides, 2, 3, and the last one, 4. And then I'm going to put some glue. I like to put glue right here. That will help if there is any cracking. So I like to go right up against that chipboard with the glue in case there's any cracking of any kind. And then I just put a few little squiggles on the tape, top of the tape, to help give an extra little oomph. Okay, so I'm gonna get my bone folder, and I'll push it down. Okay, there's that. This one, push that one down, so there's that one. Turn it around. I always do my top and bottom first, and then come back and do my sides. That's how I do it. Cool. Okay, got some glue oozing out, but that's okay. Okay, and now I'm going to go to my side here. Put this in frame. Push that up. Come over. Okay. One. Other one over here, like so. Up and over. Okay, let me get a paper towel and get some of that excess glue off. Okay. And then I take a ruler to bend this part here and just kind of bend right there where it's going to bend on where your spine is, like so. All right. So there is that part of the book done. I'm going to kind of go around and just make sure this is all down really good. Okay. That looks pretty good. See something right here going on. I'm not sure. There we go. I got it. All good. All right. Now I'm going to cover this up, and so for that I cut 2 pieces that are 8 and 5/16. So that will pretty much cover this, okay? But actually before we put those down, we put our hinge down next. I got ahead of myself, okay? So let's grab our hinge, and here's our hinge, and that's gonna go right here, like so, okay? Now what I like to do is I like to measure the middle. Find my ruler, measure the middle of this here with my ruler. There's a 0, and let's see what we've got. So just put a little pencil line to kind of see that. And then what I try to do, because you've got 4 of them, 2 and 2, is put that, I bet my head was all up in there, huh? Put that that second gusset, like right where that line is, and then you pretty much got it centered. And I just do really eyeball the top and the bottom on this, okay? And also, I don't take all my my tape off at one time. I do it in sections. That way, if I need to move it around a little bit, I can. So I'm going to take off those 3 tapes, and I'm going to put some glue, a little bit of glue. Guess I need to do some moving. And I have to stand up for this part, and you may see my head in the video. I apologize, but this is the only way I can get it to do right. So there's that line I made, and I'm eyeballing top to bottom. Okay, and that's looking pretty good. Stick her down. And then I'm going to just pull this back and take off the rest of the tape. And add a little bit more glue and put the rest down. Okay, a bit more glue here. Really important that this sticks well. Okay. See a piece of tape sticking out right there. Put that down. Okay, take my bone folder. Got a good burnish in between those gussets. Okay, again, I'm going to take my ruler for where it folds here. That. And over here on this side as well. Okay, looks pretty good. See a little bit of excess glue leaking out. Wipe that off. Okay, so now we have our hinge in for our pages. And now we're going to take our piece that we cut to 8 15/16 by 8 15/16. I cut it that big to begin with, and then sometimes if it's a little bit bigger, which it looks just a hair bigger, I'm going to just trim it just a little bit. But I can always take more off than I can add on, and so I prefer to do it like that. So I'm going to just trim a little bit. Okay, let's see what that did. That's better, because you don't want it to go over. I know it's hard to see on black. Okay, let's see, there's that and that. I think I need a little bit more trimming. I'm not happy. All right, just a little bit more off. Like I said, you can always sneak up on it. Sneak up on it. I think this is gonna work now. Yeah, that's gonna work. And then the other thing we're gonna do is we're going to put pockets on the inside as well. All right, we're almost done. All right, so I just glue this. Nobody's gonna ever know that there's pink chipboard behind there, except for me. And I'll probably forget, so it won't matter. Oh, just don't go over where this folds here with this piece. Just kind of get it even. A little closer to that side. I've got it up at the top. I know it's hard to see. I usually try to get the top even, because the bottom, you won't see it because there's going to be a pocket there. Okay. There's one. And let's get the second one. Top of our lovely chipboard, our blue chipboard. Okay. Same thing, don't go over where it folds here. Don't go over that fold. Okay, I've got to pick it up so I can get that. I got that other one over here really close to the top, so I'm going to try to get it as close as I can. Okay. All right. So now for your pockets at the bottom, I'm going to do one on the front and one on the back. Of course, we know this measures about 9. Okay, so I'm going to make my pocket. I'm using a piece of scrap, and the width of that scrap was 3.5. Let's see if this one is also 3.5. These were scraps I had. Is that one 3.5? It's a little bit bigger than 3.5. Let me cut them to 3.5. You're gonna cut 2 of these, and they're gonna be 3.5, 3 1/2 by 10 for the length, okay? 3.5 by 10 for your pockets. So let me just go over here and cut those. 10. Pretty much 3. Well, okay, 3.5. Where are you? There you are. Oh, my cutter, why do you want to cut that? Oh, good. What did you do, cutter? All right, hang on a second. Operator error. All right, there we go. 3.5 by 10. And I'm going to get my scoreboard out, and we're going to make these pockets. And so we're going to score them at 1/2 inch on 3 sides. So on the 3-inch side, I'm going to score at 3. And then I'm going to turn and score it on the 10-inch side. I like to score it this way, so I'll go 9.5. And I'll turn it. And 9.5. The other one. Do the bad end at the bottom because you won't see that. 3. 9.5 and 9.5. And then I just take my scissors, and you see where the 2 lines cross right there, intersect. I just miter it that way, like so. With this one, I use glue on my pockets. I just find it works better. So let's fold these in. And this is that heavy 110 paper. So these pockets are pretty heavy. Okay, that's one. We are getting close to the end. I do not think I'm going to put the pages in because this video is already 30 minutes. So it takes time to do these covers. Okay, so let's just put some glue. We'll put the pages in before we decorate, so that will be in part 3. And this is going at the bottom. Do not go over where it folds here. We should have cut them just right. Should fit right there. The end of this side and the bottom. And that's going to be our pocket. It should still fold. Got some glue there. Okay, that's one. Here and do the second one. We're almost done. Thank you for watching this tutorial, and let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Did I go too fast? Did I go too slow? Did I talk too much? Haven't done many of these, and I'd love to hear some feedback so that I can continue making free videos for you. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so, and definitely check out my prize giveaway that I'm waiting to give away when I reach 500 subscribers. I'm almost there. So close to my 500. Okay, give that a good. All right. There we have it. Pocket, pocket. Okay, and there it is. We got it. Looks great. Really good. Okay, so in the next video, we'll put the pages in first, and then we will talk about decorating. So fun. So thanks again for watching the video. I would appreciate a like, comment if you have any questions or concerns about my video, and I appreciate you more than you can know. Thanks again, and have a great day.